Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Come on, Nate. He's mesmerized by the can.
I was so distracted. Like I definitely just checked out. This is a can you can get distracted with.
It is indeed, and we'll get to that in just a second. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. And in fact, I know for a fact that this round did indeed come from there, because I remember Mikey specifically pointing out that beer to me, and even just looking at the can, you knew that we needed to have it. But then you get the title of it and, of course, the description and ABV. And that, I think they almost made that beer for this show. If you want to go ahead and if you're watching on the Facebook Live and the YouTube, Nate was just kind enough to show the amazing artwork. But feel free to go ahead and describe it to the folks.
So to me, it feels very much so like early aughts, Adult Swim, like how they had those weird little interludes. It looks like someone really drunk tried to draw like a episode of He-Man. Mm-hmm. You've got this little guy down here holding up a crystal ball in the middle of like a lake. It says with Hoof-Hearted Coffee. This is the All My Friends Are Dead Imperial Coffee Stout with Hoof-Hearted Coffee, vanilla, hazelnut, and milk and sugar added from Hoof-Hearted Brewing. Now, 13.5% ABV. And this might just be one of my all-time favorite cans. There's rainbows everywhere. It was definitely, if I had to take a shot in the dark, made in Microsoft Paint in true. You got this like,
hey, if that was actually in Paint, that's mad skills.
You've got a Zephyr that's carrying cans. There's a Viking playing the saxophone. Like there's a lot going on here, and it's just absolutely majestic.
Now let's not overlook, what'd you say, 13.5%?
Yeah, 13.5% ABV.
So one of the bigger beers that we've probably ever done on the show. And you said from Hoof-Hearted. I know I've heard of it, but where are they out of? Jog my memory. I don't think it's anywhere near here.
I did not actually. That is not listed on the can.
Come on, it's got to be on there.
Well, they didn't have room with all the artwork they did. Oh, there we go. North Haven, Connecticut.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I like that it's Hoof-Hearted Brewing, and then they've got their Hoof-Hearted Coffee. So like they're really just stamping it in that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the best of both worlds by all accords. We'll see. I guess you'll be the judge of that. I gave you that one because it seemed more up your alley. I know you're a coffee drinker and whatnot. Now me, I'm a big IPA drinker, and it doesn't get much bigger of an IPA than the amazingness that is the Dogfish Head 120-minute Imperial Indian Pale Ale. It says right here on the bottle that it ages well, but I know that this is this year's 2022. And I guess I didn't give it too much time to age because I want to drink it now, man. I mean, once you get your hands on this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever let one age. I'm glad they're proud enough of their product to determine that it ages well, but I don't have that kind of patience. If I see it, I grab it.
Now, Dogfish Head, we know they're up there in Delaware, and they do a lot of crazy stuff, that Mr. Caglionis. But I swear, the minute IPAs. So you got the 60-minute, which is kind of your more standard. That's 6%. You got your 90-minute. That's 9%. Now, while it doesn't actually say it on here, I am quite certain that the 120 is indeed 12%. So we're coming out swinging on this first segment of big high gravity beers.
I feel like maybe it's a dream I had once, but I feel like with Dogfish Head's reputation, it may be something that actually happened. But I feel like it could also be like one of those, like, I can't remember the name, the Mandela effect. Is there a 240-minute IPA? I feel
that
like
would be news to me. They could have done a one-off, but I've definitely never had it.
Okay. Like I said, could be Mandela effect, could be a dream I had.
Head minute IPA.
Well, if you combine two 120s, that's like a 240.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you just have two of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it only goes up to 120.
All right, well,
let me type in 240.
They got to get on that.
That would be amazing.
That
T
would
minus
bottled and
240
bond.
minutes and counting. No,
Interesting.
I don't think that they're doing a 240. That would be
Gonna have to write a letter.
pretty amazing. Um,
I mean, that would have to be like one of those like you know how the Evan White labels bottled in bond. I know obviously it's not a high enough ABV, but I wonder if they would have to get a special license or something
yeah, I don't
to
know.
go
I mean,
that high.
yeah, that's a good question because I mean, once you hit a certain spot, I think you do need some sort of a special license. I could be wrong on that, but and I think it's probably 20 if I had to guess, because that's when you kind of go from
Barley wines start to get over the edge.
and I know that because when you go to a liquor store, I mean, like there's the, you know, your basic is 80 proof, or excuse me, yeah, 80 proof, 40% alcohol. That's pretty standard. You got the liqueurs that are a little less than that, but I feel like everything is at least 40 proof, right? And about 20% as low as it
Yeah.
goes. And then wine
That's true.
generally doesn't go
The
too much higher than that
Fortified
as
ones
well.
like port and stuff don't go above 18 usually. So yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on the money with that.
Yeah. I don't have any sort of ABC license, and I do know that, you know, they make it very complicated. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's something.
So
to
many
that.
hoops. Huck was always fond of saying the government's got to get their money.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? So so we're starting with some big gnarly beers that we picked up over there at the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store. And in fact, like I said, Mikey did point out that one to me. I think what we need to do, and I'm going to text him, but we need to go down there this week and talk with Mikey and have him maybe just curate a show, like a Mikey's Pick show. In fact,
I like that.
I want to get him in. We've mentioned him so many times. I think it's time that the people actually get to meet him. Hopefully they actually have and gone down to the store and talked to him. But you know, it's nice to have him. Plus, I do know he's got damn good taste in rock, so it'd be sweet to get him on the show and talk a little rock and talk a little beer.
Every time I see Mikey, and it's not even like I will go in there looking for something in particular and I will grab what I wanted, but then he always like, I don't know if it's just his charm or the confidence with which he operates, but I always end up leaving with way more than I intended.
Well, not only
Every time,
not only beer wise, but I always end up leaving with great band recommendations. Like, oh, have you checked out blah blah blah's new stuff? And I'm like, no, I haven't yet. He's like, oh, dude, you got, you know. So he knows what he's talking about in a number of categories, which I know we can steer off into a bunch of different ways and directions on this show, but we try to focus on those two generally, at least yours truly, rock and beer. So I think it's right up his alley. So yeah, I've been meaning to talk with Mikey about getting in here. So hopefully in the coming weeks we can do that. But because he's always spot on with his recommendations. And while I don't know if I'm quite ready to untap this yet, but I'd imagine that that one's probably pretty phenomenal. And I don't know, did you hold it up to the video? I mean, that is pure.
I mean, I'm gonna have
Well,
to.
no, that's the can. I'm talking about the actual beer.
Yes,
I'd
I did
assume
not
it was
hold-
going to be dark, but that is
black as the night.
dark. It's
It
as
is a
black as your
dark
Ramones t-shirt.
Black cup of coffee, and I feel like, you know how they have those like stupid like quizzes on social media sites, like what Disney princess are you? What I feel like if there were a what beer are you, I think this one might actually be between the label and this feels like a Big Nate beer.
It does. That's why I handed that one to you. And in fact, now that you mention it, with all those stupid quizzes, that must already exist. What beer are you quiz?
It probably does. And I don't really search those out because I don't know if people really think about it. All that is an attempt to fish for your information.
Absolutely.
And there's no science behind them. We actually did one because the wife and I watch a lot of The Office, and we did which Office character are you? And we would get the exact same. It was always Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there were other options available or if, well, it seems like a Michael Scott thing to do to take one of these stupid quizzes. So everyone's Michael Scott.
And on that note, yes, I mean, there was multiple ones that came up. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what's your idea of a perfect night? Curling up with a book, keg party, swapping stories at the bar, dinner and a movie, or watching the sunset?
I guess I'm gonna have to go with swapping stories at a bar.
All right, we'll go with that. This is a 9-question quiz. So
I've got a
hopefully
bar
we'll
in my house now.
Well, oh yeah, you do. You can do that both. Which activity would you most enjoy? Sewing, fishing, skiing, woodworking, sleeping, or scuba diving?
Scuba diving.
Oh, okay. We're definitely going to be different beers here. When is the last time you were drunk? I'm drunk now. I know my limits. Sometime last week, yesterday, I don't drink. Maybe last year, about a month ago.
Yesterday?
Really? A Monday? You got loose, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Mondays are a good day for that.
Which movie would you want to live in? North by Northwest, Sense and Sensibility, The Social Network, The Avengers, Braveheart, or Star Wars Episode 5? That's the
OG.
Empire Strikes Back.
5?
So you're talking like Hoth.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I
Well-
don't think you want to live there.
I mean, this is a real Sophie's choice we've got here, because I'm certainly not choosing Sense and Sensibility. I guess I'd have to go with North by Northwest.
Yeah, okay. All right. How would you respond if a friend posted a political rant on Facebook you didn't agree with? Ignore it, like it anyway, post your own views on your page, unfriend them, tell them why they're wrong.
I'd just kind of ignore it and move on.
That's the correct answer. What's the most important aspect of choosing where to live? Safe neighborhood, great location, great schools, it's affordable, awesome weather, friendly people.
Friendly people.
All right. What part of the country do you want to live in? West, northeast, southwest, southeast, midwest.
I mean, we're skipping
Yeah.
the Northwest entirely, which would have been my
it's
choice.
Funny, it's funny that that's not an option.
So I guess I got to go. Was South an option?
Southwest or southeast?
Southeast.
All right. We're getting there. Hang on. Just a couple more. Which setting do you prefer? Okay. This is a visual. So we got like a farm, we got a city, we got like a rural neighborhood, we got like an old school downtown, and then we got a cabin out in the woods.
Cabin in the woods.
All right. Which party animal are you? The lover, the keg stand king, the dancer, the wallflower, or the DJ?
I'm going to go with the lover.
The lover. Well, all right. Well, according to this, your beer is an Indian Pale Ale. You're an acquired taste that can come across as too bitter to some, but those who get to know you crave more of your hoppy personality.
So now after the show, I'm going to have to go back and like retake it until I get what I believe is the right answer.
Now what I'm going to have to do is during the break, I'm going to have to take it and see what beer I am. But before we do that, let's go ahead and untap these beers, which is how we like to rate our brewskis. The Untapped app, free, fun, awesome, and awesome when it works. I'm still having issues with it. I don't know. Might need to go to that Untapped festival in Charlotte and give them a piece of my mind.
Yell at them.
But DreZ Drinks is my handle on there. We got Big Nate Danger across from me if you want to friend us and see what we're drinking and what we're thinking on these beers. How's it treating you, man? All your friends are dead after drinking that beer?
I was to say that the only friend I need right now is you and this beer. Yeah, it's an Imperial Coffee Stout, which is absolutely right up my alley, as you mentioned. And I think you handing this to me, I think your rating is going to be much more revelatory than mine, because this is just absolutely delicious. I love the fact that Hoof Brewing has their own coffee that they used, the vanilla, the hazelnut, all perfect in a Imperial Coffee Stout. The ABV is a nice thing. It's I remember when we did the Irish coffees, you've got, of course, the taste of the whiskey we had going on there. And this kind of has that similar warmth, but it's all coming from the beer, no additives. It's a 5, that 13.5 ABV, the deliciousness of the coffee notes and hazelnut's always a solid addition.
So I could be wrong, but is that 2 5s in a row from you?
Yeah,
Last week I know we got a 5 out of that Cuban whatever. I don't even remember.
Pastelitos
From Basic. Well, actually, I guess it's not two in a row, because we did have the
2 shows in a row, though.
By the way, we do need to talk a little bit about the Delta 8 CBD and give an update of off-air effects. All right, there's your tease. But in the meantime, I do need Untapped. Dogfish Head 120 minute. I think we all know that this is a 5, man. I mean, not only is it a big Imperial beer, I would say this is the staple of big Imperial IPAs. When it comes to, I mean, can you even think off the top of your head, what are some good like this is the first one that I ever think of. If I think of the biggest, best standard IPA that just year after year they put it out and it's always just amazing. I mean, the notes, it's just what you want because you know it's a big beer when you're drinking it. And I know that that's one thing that I kind of almost like it if it's a creeper, like it's an 8 or 9% and it doesn't taste like it does. But if it's 12%, you're going to want it to at least taste like it's a
So you
heavier
know what you're
beer
drinking.
to keep you in check because you don't want to throw back 5 or 6 of these. The next thing you know, oh boy.
That's another one of those for me. An annual release. There are only 2 that I really track. It is the 120-minute, but then Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale. As soon as that hits shelves, I always and I don't know what it is. It's not like it's a particularly phenomenal beer. I think it's delicious and a big fan of it, but I think it's something about just you can only have this
It's
right
a
now.
celebration. Yeah,
It's like the same thing with the McRib.
They keep you wanting more. They limit the release, and honestly, there are a few beers like that. That's when the Christmas crack comes around, all those holiday beers.
Oh, Hardywood's gingerbread stout.
Yeah,
Man, I'm ready for Christmas.
Yep. We digress. All right, well, let's take a break. Let's play a tune. We'll come back. We'll drink a couple more big beers that I got actually at a brewery on my RV travels, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what beer I am according to this stupid, the first beer quiz that I found on Google. And there's a million of them. So we'll see how accurate this is. It's Brewsday Tuesday right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.